for the practice problem proposed at the end of the last tutorial, which was the intro to Java, and it's about printing a Jobby character. So if you want to follow along, make sure you have Java on your computer and that you have IntelliJ downloaded and that you have a copy of either Jobby blank background.txt or Jobby filled background.txt saved on your computer. I put mine on my desktop, so they're right here on my computer. And the goal is to write a program to print out Jobby. So either this version with the blank background or this version with the darker background. I'm going to show you how to do both in this tutorial just because it's not that hard to switch between them. So I want to open IntelliJ again. And since I already created a project last time, the Lunch and Learn, I want to keep using that one and just add to it as we go through the solution. So I'm going to double click here. Make that full screen. Yep. So if I want to toggle this pane on the side, I can double click on the tab just in case yours opens without the pane showing. So I want to create a new Jobby Java class. So I'm going to right click on source and say new Java class. I'm going to call in Jobby. And inside here, I'm going to do public static void main string args. And that'll just set up the skeleton for the Jobby class that I want to have. So I'm going to start with a blank Jobby and open it here. And I'm going to copy what's in here. So what I would like to be able to do is just straight paste it here, but when I do, I can tell that it messes it up. And that's because it's trying to do an auto indentation thing, and I don't want to turn that off because I might forget to turn it back off. So I'm going to undo that copy, and then in here, say new, and then just file, and I'm going to call it jobby.txt. And I'm going to paste here, and you can tell that it kept the correct formatting. So in IntelliJ, you can do multiple cursors. And on a Mac, the way you do that is by double tapping Alt, and on the second tap, holding it down. And on a Linux machine, it's Control. So I'm going to quickly double tap Alt and hold it down on the second tap, and then hit my down arrow. And each of these lines is a cursor now. So I can do system.out.println and then delete that extra. Then here, starting from the bottom, I can double tap and go up. I can do in quote, close parentheses, semicolon. And now that I have all those print statements properly, I can copy them back into my Java class. Oops. Okay, so now I have this all set up like I want it to. And I am going to do run and then run. And I have Jobby. That's the one that I want to execute. And now it printed out Jobby, just like I expect, and the exit code is 0, which means there weren't any problems. So this is the Jobby with the blank background. And then I'm going to do system.out.println new line, just to give me some space between the two different versions of Jobby. I'm going to open up the Jobby filled background text file and do exactly the same thing. I'm going to copy it, but now, since there's not any weird spacing here because the background is done with characters as opposed to spaces, I don't need to do the intermediate step of putting it into jobby.text. I can just put it directly into jobby.java. Ooh, I thought I wasn't going to have any weird spacing issues. Let's see. I'm going to hit Shift-Tab to get it to go back levels of indentation. And then I'm going to use Alt-Alt again to get multiple cursors. And do system.out.println. And then I can just move those cursors across and do closing parentheses, or closing quotes, closing parentheses, semicolon. And that is my Jobby with a dark black background. So I've already selected Jobby as the configuration that I want to go with, and so I can just hit this play button to execute my program. And now if I raise this up, I can see that I got my Jobby with a blank background, and then a couple of newline characters, and my Jobby with a dark background. So, I hope that was helpful. Let's get back here.